Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about vitamin C or ascorbic acid. Vitamin C is a water-soluble vitamin. Its synonym is anti-scorbutic vitamin. This is the structure of L-ascorbic acid. This is the reduced form. This is the oxidized form, that is L-dehydroascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid is an enediol lactone of an acid with a configuration similar to that of glucose, L-glucose. It is a comparatively strong acid, that is stronger than acetic acid. Then D forms are generally inactive as anti-scorbutic agent. Naturally occurring vitamin C is L-ascorbic acid. This is the naturally occurring vitamin C. They have strong reducing property. Depends on the liberation of hydrogen atoms from the enediol hydroxyl groups on C2 and C3. Here we can see in L-ascorbic acid in the reduced form, here it is in the second and third position there is OH group, but in the oxidized form there is C double bond O. So depends on the liberation of hydrogen atoms from the enediol OH group on C2 and C3. Ascorbic acid is oxidized to dehydroascorbic acid. For example, by air, water, ferric chloride, methylene blue, ferricyanide, 2,6-dichlorophenol, indofol, etc. Indophenol, etc. The reaction is reversible by reducing agents in vitro by H2S and in vivo by SH compounds such as glutathione. It is stable in solid form and in acidic solutions. It is rapidly destroyed in alkaline solutions. Oxidative destruction of ascorbic acid is accelerated by increasing the pH. Then silver and cupric ions accelerate the process of oxidative destruction. So oxidative destruction of ascorbic acid is accelerated by increasing pH and silver and cupric ions. Next we will see the biosynthesis of vitamin C. Biosynthesis. Some lower mammals like rats can synthesize the vitamin from glucose. From glucose to vitamin C in some lower mammals. This is by the uronic acid pathway. But in man, the enzymes, they lack the enzymes necessary for the synthesis of vitamin C. In man, there is deficiency of the enzyme that is necessary for the synthesis of vitamin C. They cannot convert ketogulonolactone to ascorbic acid. Ketogulonolactone to ascorbic acid. We will see the conversion of L-ascorbic acid. That is L-ascorbic acid in its reduced form by the action of here minus 2H plus 2H. It is converted into oxidized form, that is dehydroascorbic acid. Dehydroascorbic acid. This is the oxidized form. Then it is converted to diketogulonic acid. Diketogulonic acid. Here plus H2O, here minus H2O. This diketogulonic acid is oxidized form. Then here it is then converted to oxalic acid and L-threonic acid. L-threonic acid. It is irreversible. It is irreversible. So, in human beings, they lack the enzymes necessary for the synthesis of vitamin C. They cannot convert ketogulonolactone to ascorbic acid. So, for humans, it has to be supplied by the diet. We will see the absorption, distribution and excretion. It is absorbed readily from the small intestine. Absorption, it is absorbed readily from the small intestine, peritoneum and subcutaneous tissues. It is widely distributed throughout the body. It can cross the placental barrier. Normal human blood plasma contains approximately 0.6 to 1.5 mg of ascorbic acid per 100 ml. Normal human blood plasma contains about 0.6 to 1.5 mg of ascorbic acid per 100 ml. Under normal dietary intake of, if we take 75 to 100 milligram normal dietary intake, then 50 to 75 percentage are converted to inactive compounds. Inactive compounds under normal dietary intake of 75 to 100 mg, 50 to 75% is converted to inactive compounds, and rest 25 to 50% is excreted in urine. Excreted in urine. Then it is also secreted in milk. We will see the metabolites of vitamin C. The terminal metabolites in rats and guinea pigs are carbon dioxide and oxalic acid. Metabolites. Terminal metabolites of in rats and guinea pig are carbon dioxide and oxalic acid. Carbon dioxide and oxalic acid. In human beings, decarboxylation of ascorbic acid does not occur. The chief terminal metabolites are oxalic acid and diketogulonic acid. Then these oxalic acid and diketogulonic acid are excreted in urine. So in the chief terminal metabolites in human beings are oxalic acid and diketogulonic acid. They are excreted in urine. Conversion of ascorbic acid to oxalate. Ascorbic acid to oxalate in human beings is the major part of endogenous urinary oxalate. Endogenous urinary oxalate. Conversion of L-ascorbic acid to oxalic acid. Then we will see the occurrence and food sources. Occurrence and food sources. It is widely distributed in plant and animal tissues. In animal tissues, there will not be storage and it contains small amount. But highest concentration in metabolically active organs like adrenal cortex, corpus luteum, liver. Dietary sources are, it is chiefly of vegetable sources. Good sources of vitamin C are citrus fruits. Citrus fruits, that is orange, lemon, etc. Then other fruits like papaya, pineapple, banana, strawberry also contain this vitamin C. Then among the vegetables, cabbage, cauliflower, green peas, beans, potatoes and tomatoes. Then its richest source of vitamin C is amla. Then considerable amount of vitamin C activity is lost during cooking, processing and storage. This is the only vitamin that is inactive by cooking. So considerable amount of vitamin C activity is lost during cooking, processing and storage because of its water solubility and its irreversible oxidative degradation to inactive compounds. That is the food sources. Next we will see metabolic role and functions. Metabolic role and functions. First one is role in cellular oxidation reduction reaction. Role in cellular oxidation reduction. Vitamin C is very sensitive to reversible oxidation. That is ascorbic acid to dehydroascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid to dehydroascorbic acid. So vitamin C is very sensitive to reversible oxidation. This suggests that it is involved in cellular oxidation reduction reactions, serving as hydrogen transport agents. These are serving as hydrogen transport agents. Second one is role in collagen synthesis. Collagen synthesis. Role in collagen synthesis. Hydroxyproline and hydroxylysine are important constituents of mature collagen fibers. Hydroxyproline and hydroxylysine are the major constituents of mature collagen fibers. The pre-collagen molecule contain amino acids proline and lysine. They are hydroxylated by corresponding hydroxylases. This needs vitamin C, iron and molecular oxygen. That is proline by the enzyme protocollagen proline hydroxylase. Protocollagen proline hydroxylase. The proline is hydroxylated to hydroxyproline. Hydroxyproline. This needs vitamin C, then molecular oxygen and Fe++. Then in the case of lysine, protocollagen lysine hydroxylase, similar vitamin C, molecular oxygen and Fe2+, it is hydroxylated to hydroxylysine. So, pre-collagen molecules contain the amino acids proline and lysine. They are hydroxylated by corresponding hydroxylases enzyme in presence of vitamin C, Fe2+ and molecular oxygen. This needs vitamin C. So, that is the role in collagen synthesis. Next one is functional activity of fibroblasts and osteoblasts. Activity of fibroblasts and osteoblasts. Ascorbic acid is required for the functional activity of these fibroblasts and osteoblasts, and consequently for the formation of mucopolysaccharide of connective tissue, osteoid tissue, dentine and intercellular cement substance of capillaries. So these are for the functional activity of this fibroblasts and osteoblasts. Then for the formation of mucopolysaccharide of connective tissues, osteoid tissues, dentine and intercellular cement substances of capillaries. Next we will see the role in tryptophan metabolism. Next function is role in tryptophan metabolism. This vitamin C is required as a cofactor for the hydroxylation of tryptophan to 5-hydroxy derivative in the pathway of biosynthesis of serotonin. So it is required for the hydroxylation of tryptophan to 5-hydroxy derivative in the pathway of biosynthesis of this serotonin. It acts as a cofactor in this reaction. Next one is role in tyrosine metabolism. In tyrosine metabolism, vitamin C is required as a cofactor with the enzyme para-hydroxy phenylpyruvate hydroxylase. Para-hydroxy phenylpyruvate hydroxylase. So vitamin C is required as a cofactor with the enzyme para-hydroxy phenylpyruvate hydroxylase, which is necessary for the hydroxylation and conversion of para-hydroxy phenylpyruvate to homogenesic acid. This is for the conversion of para-hydroxy phenylpyruvate to homogenesic acid. Then this vitamin C deficiency in premature infants may increase urinary excretion of this homogenesic acid and resemble the inherited disorder alkaptonuria. That is the role in tyrosine metabolism. Next one is in the formation of active FH4, that is tetrahydrofolate. Formation of tetrahydrofolate. Tetrahydrofolate or FH4. active FH4. This ascorbic acid in combination with folic acid, it helps in the maturation of RB cells. Then vitamin C regulates the conversion of folic acid to folinic acid. Regulates the conversion of folic acid to folinic acid. So it is called as citrovorum factor. Citrovorum factor. So it helps in regulates the conversion of folic acid to folinic acid. So it is called as citrovorum factor. Vitamin C, by maintaining the folic acid reductase enzyme in its active form, it keeps the folic acid in the reduced tetrahydrofolate form. So vitamin C maintaining the folic acid reductase enzyme in its active form, and it keeps the folic acid in the reduced tetrahydrofolate FH4, that is an active FH4 form. Next one is formation of ferritin. Formation of ferritin. Vitamin C is necessary for the formation of tissue ferritin. In this, ATP, NADP and NAD+, they stimulate the process. It is for the formation of tissue ferritin. Next one is absorption of iron. Absorption of iron. Vitamin C helps in the absorption of iron by converting the inorganic ferric ion to ferrous form. Ferric to ferrous form. Fe3 plus to Fe2 plus. So this also by forming water soluble iron ascorbate chelate. Also by forming iron ascorbate chelate, that is water soluble. It also helps in the mobilization of iron from its storage form ferritin. Mobilization of iron. Then this disturbance of these functions contribute to the development of hypochromic microcytic anemia in scurvy. Scurvy means deficiency disease of vitamin C. Next is role in electron transport system. In electron transport system, ascorbic acid take part in electron transport system of mammalian microsomes. The reaction is coupled with hydroxylation. That is the functional role in electron transport system. Then next one is action on certain enzymes, maybe its activation or inhibition. Action on certain enzymes. Vitamin C is capable of activating and inhibiting different groups of enzymes. For example, arginase and papain. Arginase and papain. These enzymes are activated by vitamin C. These are activated by vitamin C. Then enzymes like urease and beta amylase. These enzymes are inhibited by vitamin C. Next one is role in formation of catecholamines. Formation of catecholamines. Vitamin C is required as a coenzyme with the enzyme dopamine hydroxylase, which catalyzes the conversion of dopamine to norepinephrine. Dopamine to norepinephrine. Enzyme is dopamine hydroxylase. Dopamine hydroxylase. So vitamin C is required as a coenzyme for the enzyme dopamine hydroxylase, which converts dopamine to norepinephrine. Next one is role in formation of carnitine. Formation of carnitine in liver by hydroxylation of gamma-butyroBetaine. Hydroxylation of gamma-butyroBetaine. Formation of carnitine in liver by the hydroxylation of gamma-butyroBetaine is helped by vitamin C, alpha-ketoglutarate, Fe2 plus and dioxygenase. That is the role in the formation of carnitine. Next one is role in alpha oxidation of fatty acid. Alpha oxidation of fatty acid. Vitamin C helps in the action of the enzyme alpha hydroxylase. This alpha hydroxylase catalyzes the alpha oxidation of long chain fatty acid to form alpha hydroxy fatty acid. Long chain fatty acid to alpha hydroxy fatty acid by the enzyme alpha hydroxylase. Alpha hydroxylase. So this vitamin C helps in the action of the enzyme alpha hydroxylase, or it is a monooxygenase. This enzyme catalyzes the alpha oxidation of long chain fatty acid to form alpha hydroxy fatty acid. Next one is effect on cholesterol level. Effect on cholesterol level. Relation of ascorbic acid with hypocholesterolemia in man and guinea pigs. So there will be a relation between ascorbic acid with hypocholesterolemia. That is the role in cholesterol level. Next one is role in stress. The adrenal cortex contains a large quantity of vitamin C, and this is rapidly depleted when this gland is stimulated by ACTH. Adrenal cortex contains large quantity of vitamin C, and this is reduced when the gland is stimulated by ACTH. A similar depletion of adrenocortical vitamin C activity is noted when experimental guinea pigs are injected with large quantities of diphtheria toxin. Increased losses of the vitamin accompany infection and fever. Then this circulating vitamin C is low in acute infectious diseases, congestive heart failure, in renal and hepatic diseases, and in malignancies. The next function is it acts as coenzyme for cathepsins and liver esterases. Cathepsins and liver esterases. It acts as coenzyme for the enzymes cathepsins and liver esterases. Next one is ascorbic acid in both leukocytes and platelets found to be lowered in women taking oral contraceptive pills. So these are the metabolic roles and functions of vitamin C. Next we will see clinical aspects, that is deficiency manifestations. Deficiency manifestations. In humans, vitamin C deficiency produces a disease called scurvy. Scurvy. The main defect is a failure to deposit intercellular cement substance. Intercellular cement substance. This is the main defect. It's a failure to deposit intercellular cement substance. In this, capillaries are fragile. Capillaries are fragile, and there will be tendency to hemorrhage. Petechial, subcutaneous, subperiosteal, and even internal hemorrhages can occur. So capillaries will be fragile and there will be tendency to hemorrhages, that is petechial, then subcutaneous, subperiosteal, and even internal hemorrhages can occur. Next is wound healing is delayed. In this, wound healing is delayed due to deficiency of formation of collagen. Wound healing delayed. Then next is poor dentine formation. Poor dentine formation in children leading to poor teeth formation. Next one is gums are swollen. Gums are swollen and become spongy and bleeds on slightest pressure. Then there will be swelling, sponginess, and bleeding of gums. Then in severe scurvy, it may lead to secondary infection and loosening and falling of the teeth. Next is osteoid of the bone is poorly laid and mineralization of bone is poor. Osteoid of bone is poorly laid. Then mineralization of bone is poor. The bones are weak and they are readily fractures. Then hemorrhages occurring below the periosteum and into the joints may cause extremely painful swellings of bones and joints. Then anemia may be associated, which is hypochromic microcytic type. Hypochromic microcytic anemia is there. Then these are the characteristics of scurvy. This is the deficiency of vitamin C. Next we will see another deficiency is there, that is called bachelor scurvy. That means elderly bachelors and widowers who may prepare their own foods are particularly prone to development of vitamin C deficiency, and this is called bachelor scurvy. Next we will see the detection of deficiency in man. How we will detect the deficiency, vitamin C deficiency. Detection of deficiency in man. It means prompt improvement following administration of vitamin C. That is determination of concentration of ascorbic acid in blood. Determination of concentration of ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid concentration in blood. This is by different ways, by urine ascorbic acid saturation test, then intradermal test and tourniquet test. First one is urine ascorbic acid saturation test. Urine ascorbic acid saturation. In this, by administering a test dose of about 5 mg per lb. 5 mg per lb body weight. First administering a test dose of 5 mg per lb body weight. In this, if 50% or more excreted in next 24 hours, if 50% is excreted or more is excreted in next 24 hours, the individual has no deficiency of the vitamin. That is urine ascorbic acid saturation test. Next one is intradermal test. Intradermal test. In this, it consists of intradermal injection of 2,6-dichlorophenol indophenol. 2,6-dichlorophenol indophenol consists of intradermal injection of 2,6-dichlorophenol indophenol and determination of the time required for decolorization. Decolorization means reduction of the dye. Abnormally long persistence of blue color. Long persistence of blue color in cutaneous wheal indicates subsaturation of ascorbic acid. That is the intradermal test. Next one is tourniquet test. Tourniquet test, it is otherwise called as capillary resistance or fragility test. A sphygmomanometer cuff is applied around the arm and inflated. So it compresses the venous flow. Sphygmomanometer cuff is applied around the arm and it is inflated, so it compresses the venous flow. In a short time, appearance of several petechial hemorrhages on the forearm skin indicates deficiency. Appearance of several petechial hemorrhages on the forearm skin, it indicates deficiency. These are the detection of deficiency. Next we will see requirement. Requirement. A daily intake of about 100 mg is adequate in normal adults. In infants, it is about 30 mg per day. 30 mg per day. In adults, it is about 75 mg per day. 75 mg. Then in adolescents, it is about 80 mg per day. Then pregnant women, it is 100 mg per day. Then in lactating women, it is 150 mg per day. That is the requirement of vitamin C. Next we will see hypervitaminosis. Hypervitaminosis. It is otherwise called as effects of excess of ascorbic acid. Administration of large amounts of ascorbic acid does not produce any effects in humans. But in rats, dehydroascorbic acid in enormous doses, that is about 1.5 gram per kilogram body weight, it produces permanent diabetes. It is similar to that produced by the glycoside alloxan. So it produces diabetes, permanent diabetes in rats, similar to that produced by the glycoside alloxan, and it produces probably destruction of beta cells of islets of Langerhans. This action is prevented by immediate antecedent IV injection of these SH compounds like cysteine, glutathione, as in the case of alloxan, which resembles the dehydroascorbic acid in its chemical structure. Alloxan and dehydroascorbic acid, they are resembling in the chemical structure. Next, we will see the empirical uses of vitamin C. This ascorbic acid helps in wound healing, in ulcer, trauma and burns, then in allergic conditions, then common cold, and during labor. During labor, vitamin C is given in doses of 150 to 250 mg. It produces an oxytocic action, increasing both the frequency and intensity of uterine contraction. Then in methemoglobinemia, it may be used for its reduced property. So these are the properties: structure, function, hypervitaminosis, deficiency of vitamin C. This is today's topic. Thank you for watching.